We find ourselves at the home of the world's first retractable natural grass field as you get a look inside State Farm Stadium in Glendale. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Seattle Seahawks and the Arizona Cardinals. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
Ready. Mike, 56, right there, 56. All day,
The first carry now. This is Johnson. He finds an opening past the 40. And down right around the 37. A big pickup of 38.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards to pick up. Good enough for an Arizona first.
Mike's 56. I got one.
And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
50, Mike's 50. Bring it. Man left. Even. 4 down.
A first down carry here for Johnson.
Go, run.
And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Here we go.
From the 22, Murray. And that is caught. Touchdown, Cardinals. Jarvis Landry, his second touchdown on the season. And the Cardinals take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Gostkowski with the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. Gostkowski now, after the touchdown, he'll send this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Come on now, let's go.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now first and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Here's Wilson. This complete to Lockett. 30, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, his third touchdown now on the year, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. Well, go ahead and strap in, partner. Less than 2 minutes in, had the score on the one side. A quick answer, though, to get the equalizer.
Sometimes you get that sense of urgency that ratchets up, right? When you give up an early touchdown like that, you just know you're like, okay, how do we go back and equalize things? Can we get it done fast? And they absolutely did. Essentially, we're back to even, aren't we?
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive.
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over.
First down.
3-15. Watch the slip.
Following the fumble recovery, it's Wilson. That throw good for 4. It's second down. That time they hit him out of the slot on the drag.
And that route takes some fortitude from the guy running it, because he knows he's going through the briar patch, as I like to call it, right? He's trying to work his way through. All that not traffic, and people wanting to put a little contact on it. Really well done.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. The turnover put them in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
It's caught. Jones. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there.
First down.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. A strong broken tackle on that one. And then they get him to the ground just shy of the 15. It's a 6-yard pickup, but it gets him to 2nd and 4. On second down, it's Carson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. A second down play results in a loss of 2 yards. And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Here's Carson with a catch out of the backfield. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that.
If this were baseball, we'd call this small ball. Instead of pushing it downfield, they throw a short pass trying to pick up the first down, but the defense rallies to the football and stops him short, bringing up a 4th down.
So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal? And they were able to trot back out on the field and start this drive. A little more pep in their step because they didn't cost their team a touchdown. But they know they've got to do it a lot better than they did on the last possession.
The coach will just be relieved, though, if they recoup with a score here, right?
I think the coach would be ecstatic to see them pick themselves back up and now take it downfield, punching the end zone without turning it over.
Give them a couple on the carry there, 2nd and 8.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
From just shy of midfield, Murray complete. It's Johnson. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 40. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10, right at the 40. Running from the gun, Johnson. And Johnson lost the football. It's loose, poked out.
On the ready. Hey, watch the slant. Hey, tight end's right. Watch tight end.
On second down now. It's Carter, and able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect. On 4th down, here's Lachlan Edwards to punt it. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn.
Julio Jones all alone. He's at the 40, 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Julio Jones. 89 yards. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And Charles, I had an offensive coordinator tell me one time that they design every play to score. I don't know how true that is, but he had to run a long way after that catch. Heck of a play.
I think that when he was telling you that, he was designing run after catch in every play. I mean, that's the only way to put it in there, and that's what we got on that one. Nice catch, an even better run for big yardage.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They trail by 10, 17-7 as they come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop.
Brings up 2nd and 10
Watch the pass.
at the 23-yard line.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Let's pick it up. It's our time, guys. Our time.
Off the draw, here's Johnson. And he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. That'll back him up 2 yards and also bring up 4th.
Not the result they were looking for there on 3rd down. They end up taking a loss on the play. The only person happy now, the punter, gets to go out there and show Mom that he gets to play in the game.
And call that an even 50 yards on the punt with 7 on the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They have to be pleased with the way that they've moved the football thus far.
And why wouldn't they be? 2 touchdowns on a field goal in their first 3 possessions. They're playing so well right now, the field goal probably feels like a disappointment.
And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Hey, what's that? Hey, what's the ball? Check.
This is Carson. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Let's go, defense. Let's get out the field, defense.
On 3rd down, Wilson. And Jennings has it. And now look at him go. Past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Making a hat trick for Russell Wilson. 3 touchdown passes now. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
And he's able to get it across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down at the 21-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Now a 10th carry for Johnson. In on the stop, Bradley McDougal.
on any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
Yeah, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
We play to win. Let's go.
20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent is really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them, too.
And now they're just looking to add to that total. They run it with Carson. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. From the gun on third down, Wilson looking deep for Julio. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. This secondary has been roasted in this first half, but they get a measure of revenge there. Nice play on the deep ball.
Yeah, they're going to need a few more plays like that in order to get their confidence fully back, but that's one step in the proper direction.
Landry now on the return.
The Cardinals take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. All right, coming up at intermission. Charles, you want to wait in, enhance your Saturday?
I certainly do.
I've got just a thing for you. It's the coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by Orlando. He'll be alongside at half to take us through the weekend in the NFL. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 14 on that one and a first down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. And to give this time to the tailback. He had a great move, but he'll still be stopped shy of midfield. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Fake handoff to Johnson. Now here's Murray. And the Seahawk defense gets to him, and they bring him down. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack.
Well, competition comes up in so many different ways. And right now, this unit, their competition is who's going to get to the quarterback the most times. Had about 5 sacks last week, and we just saw their first one of this game.
Well, that last sack puts Murray and the Cards in a tough spot, 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Johnson. And he's going to be stopped here at the 43, and that is not near enough to pick up the first. Now the Seahawks forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, But a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20.
I'm coming after you.
Here's Wilson to throw again. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down.
But maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. Wilson to the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. Not wanting to risk another sack, they'll play it safe with a run. And they'll indeed stop him on 3rd down. And now what do you want to do with your timeouts? Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now a man open down the middle of the field. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down. On first down, Wilson. That's complete to Disley, the tight end. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Wilson now nearing the 300-yard mark with still a quarter to play. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Wilson's throw caught by Metcalf. And they're going to have another first down as the tackle's made here at the Cardinals' 21.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now Wilson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Russell Wilson now with 4 touchdown passes on the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And their halftime home now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
To throw on 2nd and 6. Murray, Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Partner, the Mike linebacker, the middle linebacker has so many different responsibilities. How excited do you think he was to get home with that blitz?
Yeah, he wants a sack. He got it. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. A rough go there on third down, a loss of 4. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Now it's Lockett. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were competent enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
They follow up the gain of 2 with a gain of 1 that time.
The way things have gone in this one, the running game's been something of an afterthought, and that's not been too bad for them, has it?
Yeah, the offensive returns have been good, but I guess we figured he in the ground game would be a bit more involved.
You better bring. You better bring. One foot. Slam. Easy.
On third down, Carson. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. It'll be a gain of 7, but I'd imagine we'll see the punt team here on 4th down. Now here's Michael Dixon as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now the first carry for Chase Edmonds. And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing is Murray on 3rd down. Pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Credit the sack to the always disruptive Olivier Vernon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, 3rd quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Jaron Reed. And now, boy, the ball's going to go over on downs here inside the 10-yard line. A very short field to work with now. 1st and goal after the great punt return. Here's Carson. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Chris Carson, his first touchdown of the new season, as his guys continue to put this one out of reach.
We know that the big guys won't get the credit, Brandon, but we also know that that touchdown belongs to them. Excellent job of clearing the way for their running back.
Myers connects on the PAT, and that will extend this big lead. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost. Cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. Arizona's offense at the line, ready to get their drive started. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they... And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
I think most quarterbacks would love to have the goal line actually extend up into the air and turn into a wall. They can put their back against it and know exactly where they are on the field so they don't end up in the end zone. Didn't do it on that play, but perilously close to the goal line.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he is not going to get away. The rush was too strong, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford anymore at this point. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Yeah, still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
Yeah. Mike, 58, right there. Hey, check.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
It's nice every now and then in this game not to see people overthink it. Just hand it to the old reliable guy. Let him pick up the 1st down.
Check. 43. Check. 43. I got it.
Now it's Carson. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
It's 2nd and 8. The 23-yard line.
Let's go deep, tighten up. Let's go deep, tighten up.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. And the Seahawks on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
3 down.
They'll try and run for it with Penny. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. It's a gain of 12, 1st down Seahawks. 2 1st downs have them up to the 41 now for 1st and 10. Now Rashad Penny. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're just trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he's able to get this one down to about the 40. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Hey, when you get good yardage like that on 1st down, it really does a whole lot of good for your entire offense. But I love the way he's finishing those runs. At the end of things, he's making sure he gets just a little bit extra.
And another mistake here defensively as a flag is down on the tackle, and that's going to tack on 15 more. And they've got another 1st and 10 as the penalty keeps this drive moving. After the penalty, it's Penny. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Right here, right here.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's a big loss of 3, and it brings up 3rd down. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 11. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll run with Penny, and he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's now 4th down.
Green 80! 58, come on! Hey, keep it up, keep it up!
And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. It's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Ready to go with their next drive, and at the line, the Cardinal offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Well, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Get him! Get him!
Off the play fake, Perkins. And Eifert has it. Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Picked up a first down.
Open man completes it to Butler.